Hello. How's it going, everybody? Oh, you guys got to see me shrug, because... Anyways, thank you for being patient with us today. This is the Violet Sea, the actual play of my custom system, the Tri-System, that... We'll see how this goes. Everything is improv, I have nothing planned. Let's get going!
Hell
That's
yeah.
not true. My name's Tate Washburn, and I'd like to introduce my players. We're gonna go in, first the pirates, then the scholars, top to bottom.
Well, hello, friends. It's Young Foxy, aka Big Foxy, also known as your favorite fox, and today I will be returning to the role of the loquacious, the rapacious, and the some other word that ends with acious that I'll think of later, Captain Dre.
Audacious?
Audacious, that's a good one. Captain Dre, our, rambunctious pirate captain who's really good at being a pirate and not so good at being a captain, but here to fuck some shit up. Let's pass it on. Go ahead, Michelle.
He's learning.
I figured it out.
It's me, Michelle. I'm here playing Quinn Archer, our bodyguard cum chef cum sawbones doctor. And kind of tired dad, but that too.
Very tired dad. I appreciate that. Anyways, I believe it's Fail next.
Hey everybody, it's Phil Prime. I'm playing Reese, the transhumanist scientist who can't really remember how he ended up in the body that he is in.
Hey everybody, it's me, Sir Heckalot. Today I'm playing
Hello.
Arden Clark, the hired master student oceanographer type, basically. Who's checks that pretty closely. Let's move it on over to Lucian.
Hi, it's me, Lucian. I play our marble-slinging material scientist, Dr. Oliver Evans. And
That's me. I'm Purple Phil. I'm going to be playing Maxwell Tuttle. He's a boat historian. Airboat historian, I guess.
Yeah.
That all hit
He's
it back
just a
to date.
historian, and what he is a historian of might change at any given moment. We'll see.
Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, historian, I'm waiting. He's gonna be like, you see that rowboat right there? Yeah, it was built in...
Yup.
It was built 300 years ago. It's a legendary rowboat. So, last time was the start of our adventure. You guys were in a bar that was like a pirate bar. The scholars met the pirates, as it were, and mostly you guys were told that danger was going to happen, and then when you went and raided a ship, you found that danger is already happening. Primarily, the two people who found out were, I believe, Maxwell, you went in and found some stuff? If I remember right?
Did. I found
Yep,
some
and then
travel log.
you found some evidence that maybe this ship is pulling some kind of double duty as both a shipping ship and a, let's say, anti-piracy ship might be the right word for it. Excellent cover for anti-piracy. And Oliver, you found some things.
Yeah,
You remember the things you found and what happened?
I found a radio. I blew it up, and then the people were not happy with that. So now I think it's me and the first mate, and a couple of pirates in a room, and they're not very happy with me.
It's in the room.
Yep.
Well, thankfully, you do have Mr. Cantoni, the first mate who is with you.
Yes.
He is a pretty sizable man and carries a very large dagger, which he has out the moment that this thing explodes, because they kind of didn't want you to even look in the secret compartment you found, but
Right.
it's hard to argue with a very large man with a knife. So,
Right.
So, how am I gonna do this?
That's a great question.
That's up to you, boss man.
So, I think it's up to you if you want to do something about this that is in timed play. It's effectively what we call combat in the Tri-System, but I do want it to be used for more than just combat. Anytime something like the order of operations is really critical between multiple parties, time play.
Right.
Which, in this case, is very much combat. So, if you want to physically stop them as they are starting to draw weapons and do stuff, and, like, fight breaks out, then that's what we're gonna do. That is primarily up to you, though, at this moment.
I'm going to throw a marble at them the first chance I get.
All right, that's definitely going to be some time play
So,
stuff.
yeah.
So, what I would like before we jump into that is everybody who's not inside the ship, so basically everyone but Lucian, I need you guys to roll me some kind of like noticing things roll, whatever you want to use for that.
Fantastic.
Anybody hear a radio explode?
Kinda.
All right.
I want to know how thick is this hole, based on how sensitive y'all's ears are. So notice is probably what I'm going to take, but
Oh, I'll happily
can
roll notice.
You could probably use deduce if you want. That's going to be more like noticing details.
I have a
shit.
-1 to knowledge and a 0 points to deduce. That's a negative for
God.
me, boss.
Ain't gonna happen here.
Notice incoming. That's actually a pretty good roll.
Look, man, some people just aren't smart, and that's fine.
Six
We
and eight.
love those people anyways.
That's 14 plus... I got a 19 for you, boss man.
A 19.
19!
Them's big numbers.
Oh wait, I forgot a
Here.
D6.
I got a
Oh yeah,
king.
it's 3d6. Sorry. I had to be special and not just do Powered by the Apocalypse. I could have just made this a Powered by the
You
Apocalypse
could
game.
have, but
You could've,
I'm
yeah.
glad that you did.
I'm
it.
proud. That's
Wait.
just like you,
That
Tate.
changes what. Oh my god, this keeps happening. Why do I keep rolling
15.
15? Why?
Well, you can
I'm
spend
glued
points
to
to
this
make it a
number.
full success instead of a comedic success.
I
But,
mean, I'm okay with that. It's just wild that I keep rolling the same number.
so
I'm okay with getting a 15. I'm in the kitchen.
that's fair. That's fair. Other rolls to note?
I rolled a
Shit.
7.
A 7. You ain't noticed shit. You're too busy, probably, I don't know, messing with the mechanics of something or other. You get to pick that. Because,
I
yeah,
got
a 7... Well, a 7 is a heroic failure, so you are currently working on something that is going to be useful in a second, we'll say. You like, have weapons out. You have your arm, like, being worked on, so everything is working. And then, last, what did Maxwell roll on
I got a
notice or
13.
deduce? A 13. Ooh, I like that. So, Lucian doesn't have to roll anything because Oliver is in the soup right now. So, those of you who got a comedic success, I'm going to say all of you hear something, but don't know exactly what it is. With the exception of Maxwell.
I rolled
you-
19.
Yeah, no, I'm getting to you in a
Okay.
second.
What the fuck?
That's important. Maxwell, you definitely notice something that sounds like an explosion, but you notice it as you are currently on the enemy ship and you look like one of their crew. You're gonna have to... Your first action, unless you want to get on the wrong side of this, is gonna have to be hide or change your appearance to look like, you know, one of the crew you're supposed to be part of. And then lastly, our captain, who was very aware, probably because you're staring the other captain down in the face and, like, ready for violence, you hear what is distinctly an explosion. Not like a normal one, but definitely, like, electrical shocks and something falling apart, and maybe because you're tuned into it, because he is your first mate, the sort of, strong but quiet voice of, Mr. Cantoni saying, "Don't." Just, like, barely you hear him say that, and, like, the tone of voice that you recognize as violence is imminent.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah,
you two, both Oliver and our good Captain Dre, you get to act on this first round as stuff happens. So, the way combat works in Tri, both for audience and both for my players, every round, you pick the number of actions you're going to do, and the less actions you decide to do, the earlier you go. However,
Okay.
actions are as simple as, if you want to throw that marble, you gotta draw the marble and throw it. So that's 2 actions, because you don't have an ability that lets you do both as one.
Why not? Okay.
All right. Let me make sure I'm ready to go on this. Okay, I think I got an option.
Make sure
Okay. All right. Okay.
that properly. Okay. Cool.
I'm gonna say certain things like talking to someone. If you say something extremely short, you can say at the top of the round without using an action, just for like communication's sake.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. So I think I got. Okay. I think I have 3 actions. possibly 2.
3 actions.
I'm trying to make sure I break this down properly. But I think if I break it down properly, I'm technically using free action to like say something very quickly, and then technically, yeah, I got 2 actions actually. 2 actions.
2. Right, Lucian.
I'm going to draw, charge, and throw a marble.
All right. Well,
I
you
mean-
can draw and charge as one if you pick that ability.
Yes, I did pick that ability. And
Oh,
then
excuse me. I left my.
I don't know if it takes another action for it to detonate.
No, that'll happen just under the conditions you say it does, which
Okay.
can just be on impact.
Gotcha. So then that would be 2 actions to draw, charge, and throw.
Yes.
Looks like we're both at 2 actions.
Sure seems like it.
All right. So, I would like Dre really quick though, because this is also something that maybe is important for you to know. Roll me one. I guess like it'd probably be notice, but it could be insight.
Notice is happy. Listen, notice is coming right up. Insight's not a skill I have a whole lot of. Sorry, I dropped another. Okay, cool. That's 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Oh, that's 13 plus 5.
Yeah. The other captain, you probably notice has noticed something, but doesn't know what.
Oh, perfect. That's exactly what I needed.
So she is also not acting. Oliver, unfortunately, the 2 shipmates that are watching you are not drawing weapons. You can see them just ready to punch something, but fortunately for you, Mr. Cantoni also already has weapons drawn.
Right.
So in that first action, you see all of them just trade blows, and Cantoni takes 2 to the face, but manages to stab one of them in the shoulder.
Okay.
He's not looking super great, but now it is you, because there's the only people acting.
Alright, I'm gonna grab a Windswept Tungsten marble, charge it,
Okay.
turn to Mr. Cantoni and say, Cantoni, duck. I'm gonna toss it up in the air and have it explode and send out just like a flat wave of thin wind energy and just try to like essentially decapitate both of them.
Oh, okay.
Well, damn.
Okay.
You have to roll to throw that accurately, is what I'm gonna say. So roll marble throwing, because basically the thing you've told it is make a disc of this effect, and it's gonna happen wherever this thing lands.
That's...
Please don't miss. I like you with both of your legs.
So that's a 16.
Hey, yep, you get where you want.
Alright.
So, yeah, you throw this out, and how does this look before I decide how they try and not get hurt?
So essentially, it just looks to them as if I've taken a marble and kind of lobbed it in their general direction, and then it's just gonna detonate kind of midair. I've timed it, right? So I set it to go off in like 0.2 seconds or whatever, and then I toss it and duck.
Yeah, so because you say that, they're basically going to both roll, I'm going to say awareness. Generally, you get to decide the stat that they use for this sort of thing, but for this, it's just them being like,
right.
Will they notice? And, Alright, so, one of them, totally unaware. You catch one of them on the side of the neck, and they take a good chunk of damage. They spend points to, like, panicking dodge, but it still, like, clips the side of their head, and they now have this, like, big gash on the side that does not look great. The other one, however, does roll fast enough to just not get hurt, because they rolled higher than you. The way any kind of attack works is you have to roll both a success and higher than the other person.
Right.
So yeah, you've definitely showed your hand, and they're not looking happy about this. But also, everyone else, what sound does this make, actually? I should ask. What the hell kind of sound does...
It's actually pretty quiet. It's mostly just the sound of just this thin blade of wind hitting the walls that you hear.
Okay.
So it's just like a quiet thump.
So everyone else, yeah, you hear a thump, but you also hear people curse in various languages and yell. And so now the rest of you, there's a whole crew in front of you, and we have our captain who already is doing something. So what are you saying? What are you doing?
I got discovered. So I'm gonna use my free action to speak first. I'm gonna look at whichever one of my lovely crew is currently nearest to any one of them, and I'm gonna say, "You." I'm then gonna use my first action to draw my pistol, aiming at the other captain, and then still looking at the other captain and talking to the other pirate. My second action goes to speak to them again and say, "Kill one of them."
Well, damn. Who is closest? I believe we said Reyes is. But...
Yeah. Well, yeah. Reese, go ahead. Just you chuck a guy over the
Reese,
side for all I fucking care.
So, back to the top of the round. I'm just gonna ask, who's gonna do one action?
Probably me. I'm just gonna. I'm not directly gonna act yet. I'm just gonna tell you the captain to fucking not. Just like, we're clearly not here to fuck around.
Action is just how many actions do you want to do? Because you can decide something different.
Yeah, just one
partway
for me.
through the round. One for you. All right, then yeah. You're actually the only one who's doing one action.
Cool.
So.
Then I'm going to roll intimidate. The intent is to basically keep the other captain from getting any fucking crazy ideas. Because I'm the one who gets crazy ideas around here, obviously.
I'm the crazy one.
Yeah, so I'm gonna roll that, and my goal here is basically just literally just Dre's gonna just so I'm gonna roll first. That is a 12 plus another 5 makes that 17, which is that a full success?
Yeah, that's a full success.
Then I'll keep that.
And then what stat is she gonna roll to not do this?
I'm gonna have her roll her. I'm gonna say it's gonna be her willpower.
All right.
See if she wilts under my smoldering gaze. Don't fucking give me that look, heck! What the fuck? I saw you.
Yeah, so pistol pointed at the captain. You're just like, the word you said is just don't.
Yeah, just
Or
literally.
how's this working?
After I let the after I let whoever know to like kill one of them, whatever they do, chuck them over the side. Just give her a look that very clearly says we'll do this to more of you, and just say, don't.
Yeah, so at least everyone up on the deck can see that the captain was about to go draw, and her own very nice looking sword. And when you say don't, she just pauses, and she very good poker face. Not actually. You can tell though, not actually unafraid. She's definitely I would like to survive this. Thank you.
Good girl.
She's been outdrawn, and I would like to know, Reese, are you taking 2 or 3 actions, just so I can know?
I hadn't even really thought about how many actions to take. I guess 2.
Yeah, it will take 1 to start channeling, so you can do magic, and then second one to actually do said magic, if that's what you're doing. Or to draw a weapon and hit somebody.
Yeah, I think I'll probably just draw out my my bat and then swing it at the nearest person.
No magic necessary.
Exactly.
Just bonk.
I'll defeat you with
Violence.
I'll defeat you with the power of magic and this bat I found.
Or friendship and incredible violence.
I mean, hey, if you don't need to use magic, why not just...
How to pirate ships. Step 1, the power of persuasion. Step 2, the power of incredible violence.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Yeah. Who else is gonna do 2 actions then?
I will, but
What's your... Anyone else?
Has Quinn
you just
even
call him
noticed
out?
anything?
Quinn, I'm gonna say y'all notice stuff, but if you're down in the ship, it's gonna take you a bit to just get up there. That's 2 zones away.
Alright.
So-
Oh, sorry, Maxwell.
You go. You're already doing it.
Oh, I was gonna say Quinn's gonna do something, but
Hey Michelle, Ronnie, you told me you're gonna do a thing. Tell me to remind you of that.
Question: does
3 actions. Yeah.
does this ship have cannons? Like,
Yes.
does our ship have cannons? Okay.
We got a
100%.
fuck ton of cannons.
They're
Okay.
rolled out.
I'll probably, like, considering I don't really have that much personal fighting skill, I'm just gonna, like, be ready to, like, help, like, load and shoot one if we need to.
Not a bad
Yeah,
call.
it's gonna be an action to like help the crew load. You'll just be like, hey, yo, these need to be ready to fire now. So that's probably your first action. If you want to fire, that's gonna be 2 actions. So.
Okay, well, I mean, like, nothing's, like, escalated that far yet. I just want to, like, send a message, you know, be like, yeah,
Send a
like, we're ready to,
message.
like, gun down, but, like, it doesn't have to be that way.
You think that those that are midships on the other ship do notice that a bunch of cannons have just been loaded? Lucian, how many actions are you doing? Are you doing 2?
I'm doing
We're on to
2
2 at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, can I hear the stuff happening up top?
Kind of. You know that something is going on up there.
Okay.
The other guys are also doing 2. What's your dex and what's your awareness?
Dex of 2, awareness of 2.
Oh yeah, I actually have your sheet open. I just forgot it was yours. Anyways, yeah. So you are gonna move first. They're technically acting at the same time, but that's not a problem because you're faster than them. They will have to change what they do because of you, not the other way around.
Gotcha.
So yeah, what you doing?
I am going to toss another marble at them. Having said that, at this point, Oliver's like, fuck doing things quietly. People have noticed now. So he's gonna toss a destabilized lead marble and just try to gravity, like, crush them through the bottom of whatever room they're in. I'm assuming there's still more rooms underneath before we get to ocean.
Yeah, but not a lot. Like, there is what's considered sort of just the empty space below bottom decks, but you are in the bottom decks.
Okay, in that case, I'm just gonna try to crush them through that floor. And we'll see how that goes.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. Oh, and I am gonna use my magical shot just to control the marble better, now that I'm kind of annoyed that they survived the decapitation. Do I choose how many points I spend before or after I roll?
After you roll.
Okay, cool.
It's effectively
I hate when they
the
survive the
effort
decapitation.
you put into that, right?
Yeah.
I heard
Alright,
you.
so-
You heard C.
That's...
I'm gonna say, just for like combat sake, these are mooks. You think that they've probably used up basically all of their points
Right.
to try
okay.
and avoid damage. One of them already got hurt, so like.
Right. So that's a 15 base.
Base.
Do I need to add anything to that? To make it like...
I mean-
I forget the breakpoints. It's...
Yeah, 15 is the very top of a heroic or a comedic success. So 1 more point will make it a full success, but you do need to roll higher than them also when you're attacking someone.
Okay. In that case, I'll spend 2 points. To make that a 17.
All right. I have been rolling with 2 dice for the most of this because I forgot my dice downstairs. So now I has dice. What y'all giggling about?
Nothing at all.
Yeah, I'll believe that.
I just looked.
Did I misspell that in our personal chat? Mother. Stream, chat, you should know. I'm very bad at spelling. Extremely bad at spelling.
That's okay. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Foxy,
Sounds-
holy shit.
Sounds to me like some people are about to get killed by the Lorist here. Rocks fall from the sky.
Oh boy.
No, I'm following the rules, and he got a full success, so no unintended consequences. They both rolled comedic
Yeah, 2 base.
comedic successes, so they have both failed. Yeah, so you throw this marble at their feet. I think, luckily, you should know that that the first mate was going to take 3 actions, and one of the things you can do is use one of your actions early as a reaction, so that he can just like roll to not be hurt by his friend as the person who's in the area of effect, but not actually the target of it. And he rolled decently enough. It's a flat check. It's not against your number. He's fine. The other two, though, they have failed. So how does this look?
Really, it just kind of looks like
Yeah,
they're just getting crushed, as if they're just carrying a very heavy weight all of a sudden. And then the floor just kind of gives out under them.
Yeah, so they sort of fall down and just... It looks like they're just stumbling until suddenly the ground splinters underneath them, and they go a whole other level down. I think the interesting part is the destabilized lead marble is staying in the point in the air where you left it for a second until the charge ends. And so now there's no floor, and it's just floating for this instant as they're all crushed into the ground, and then finally it drops as the effect ends. But you see that those guys are unconscious. They are not dead yet, but they probably will be if someone doesn't give them some medical attention. And those are your two actions, but you do have a first mate here with you, who he looks at what you've just done, and he looks at you. He's like, well, no offense, Doctor, but you're scary. And he grabs you, and he is using all three of his actions to run upstairs. Who else did two, or was that it? Everyone else is doing three.
So I probably would have done one. I didn't speak up because I wasn't really understanding it, but I was already channeling before this, we determined.
Yes, 100%, yeah.
Like, doing my power isn't an action, it's like a reaction if someone rolls against me. So I would just be moving to get back on the other ship undetected as best as possible. I don't know if I can see that taking more than an action, so...
Well, if you want to just move onto the ship, you will look like the enemy crew members. So
Right,
we'll take an action to change your appearance. We just don't do actions out of timed play, which is why it wasn't a problem before.
Yep.
So yeah.
No, that's fine. I just didn't know. I didn't... Like, it doesn't say... Because I'm channeling it, it doesn't say that I have to do anything. It's just by channeling it, I can make myself appear differently, essentially.
Yeah. It just, you don't have a move that changes your appearance. It's just a thing your magic does, but that's still an action to use your magic and an action to move.
Cool. Yeah,
just to clarify. Yeah.
So then I'd probably be in two, so at the right spot.
Yeah. And generally there's no one up here that's doing two. Everyone was planning on doing three until your captain decided no, they're not. But I do want to know, just for Reese, you were given an order, and I assume that you're carrying that out. You are right next to Dre, but there are other crew around you, some of their crew as well, because their captain has an equivalent person who is sort of standing next to her. How are you going to deal with that? With your 2 to 3 actions?
The bat.
So, yeah, no, basically, like, the way I want to do this is I want to pull out my bat, and as I swing, like, right before it connects with the person, I want to channel a little bit of my magic to have it change from wood to metal.
Oh!
Okay.
I like this guy.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I'm a fan of this guy. It's a good
yeah, I'm gonna say it's like, this is your bat, so you probably do this often, because you're not like changing the actual like content of material. That this is probably a bat that has a metal core. Like, you have melded this to do this trick, where it's like, hey, this is a wooden bat. No, it's not. And so, yeah, you can end up doing that. This is really just more for flavor, so I will definitely allow it. It feels like that would be 4 actions, but whatever. We'll say you started channeling last round as soon as your captain said do something. So, roll me some violence. I imagine brawl? Or no, you get to use your magic skill if you have altered something, so you can use your magic skill.
+1, 2, 3 for the material charge. So right there, and then 7, 13 plus 3. That's 16.
16. Yeah, you get this guy good in the knee. I'm gonna have him.
Just mumbling numbers as we add.
Right. Sorry.
Listen, imagine being good at math.
Maths.
There's math at this. I'm sorry. Anyways, yeah, he gets not as high as you, and so you just get this guy good in the knee. I'm gonna say he's not dead, but he is definitely not doing anything at this moment. This guy has like a rifle on his back, which now both his hands are just holding his knee, which I'm gonna say you could also just swing at his hands too, if you just want to extra put this guy down.
Swing the fucking head. Take him out. The fuck? What waste of time for?
It's more fun to kneecap people.
You know what? Fair enough. Live your life. Live your chief.
So yeah, I mean, you can still make an action next round if there's another round, but basically everyone has like stock still as their captain has not moved and her hand is just hovering next to her sword. Oliver, you and Mr. Cantoni have just... I'm sorry, I just dropped dice. You and Mr. Cantoni have just gotten to the top deck at the top of this round, and I want to know, is there still time play? Do you guys are still doing violence, or is this now out of time play for you?
Look, if they ain't doing anything, we ain't gonna do anything immediately. I'm cool just peeping them. But if Dre saw Arden go for the cannons, he would have let them know that it's totally okay to roll them out at this point. Like roll them bitches out, let them know. Like it's not safe in the streets, you know what I mean? But besides that, like, you know, we'll keep it cool for now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you guys have a sort of a standoff as you're staring each other down. Arden has sort of helped load the cannons, and now they are definitely ready for violence. In this space of just nothing happening for just a second, Captain Pola, she just looks at you as, okay, now what?
Well, now we find out whatever happened down there.
I mean, the first mate will say something if Oliver doesn't.
Well, yeah, I'll let the first mate handle this.
And Tony's like, the doctor found something mechanical and complicated and decided it needed to be broken up, and these two started, some violence, and we decided that we would rather we did the violence, if you understand my meaning.
You know, we can assault that. Okay, whatever, not important. What'd you find?
A radio.
Oh,
I had a radio on board.
Just looks back at the captain. A radio! And who could they have been talking to, my good doctor?
Oh, you know, those people that might be interested in following us around. So I thought we'd be better off if they didn't have a radio.
Well, astute observation, Doctor. I appreciate your tutelage.
Thank you.
So, someone's got some explaining to do, and I got a real itchy trigger finger, so I recommend you start talking real quick.
Is Maxwell gonna say anything? He's discovered something.
Am I up there?
Yeah, you made it.
Okay, and I'm looking back to myself.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll open my notebook and just say, you know when we weren't sure which if the ship was like a privateer or a trading ship? I think it's both, judging by like some of my historical notes on this. There's a couple logs that they never are seen at the same time.
Huh. Who'da thunk?
What I'd like for you to do, both Captain and Tuttle. What are you trying to get them to back down? Or are you trying to get them to what are you trying to get them to do?
Right now, I want her to spill. I want her to spill her fucking guts. Like whatever she's got going on, that's what I want.
And I'm assisting in that by revealing that we know where the jig is up.
You know some stuff.
Look at us fitting in already like a fucking like a rigid crew.
Yeah. So then I'm gonna have Dre. You roll whatever skill you want to do to get her to spill her guts, and then you can add Maxwell's history BS skill.
Awesome. I love history BS.
Or deceived.
All right. In that case, we're going with fucking intimidate. Still working really well for me.
Yeah. Oh, and just for you, Purple, I just can't remember if you took the ability yet where you can use lore or deceive like interchangeably when you're trying to BS people.
Yeah, I have to. Pretty sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Double check, but
That is an 18, boss man. 13 plus 5.
Damn.
yeah,
Damn.
yeah, I do have it.
Fam, you let me get a stat up. I have 2 in command now. I have 3 in intimidate. I have 3 in inspire. Dre's not here to fuck around. All right.
9. Yeah. Okay. So you're telling her a spell, and it's like, we have a radio to contact people all of the time in case of, and then gestures at what's going on. The good doctor is right. We sometimes loan this ship out to privateers whose job is also to deal with, and then gestures again. But I don't know what conspiracy you're talking about. And,
She bullshitting me?
I want to vibe check that.
Yeah. No, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at my.
I'm gonna say your intimidate roll is part of that, but Arden definitely can vibe check. Other people around can vibe check that,
You know, and-
especially Arden if you want to put some sauce in it.
Yeah, and Drano already.
Literally,
Oh,
nobody believes that.
And Dre already knows Arden has a good
Nobody
eye. Yeah.
believes that.
And, like, Dre already knows Arden has a good eye, so if Arden calls it out, Dre to believe it, no question.
For chat, Arden has a skill that is literally called vibe check.
Yeah. Isn't that like later in the ability tree though? I don't think I can do it yet.
If you, I think that you unlock that.
Hey, I don't.
Imagine knowing your
No.
character sheet.
You haven't marked what you have unlocked, so I don't know how you're tracking that, but
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out later. I'm just generally confused. Okay. That's what. Let me do math.
so if you have unlocked
14.
Emotionmancy, that is a skill you have. So whatever points you put into that, which if I'm looking at your character sheet, is 1. So you can roll me will +1, and then add however many of your mental points you want to, up to 3 mental points you want to add to that roll, and you can not just ask questions about do I believe that, but also what is their emotional state while they're doing it.
Oh.
We're gonna say you have it because you should. We're just gonna say because that's an easy ability.
Okay,
for you
because
to
like
have,
I
right?
understood the advancement. You know, it's like when do we do this? I don't know.
I am sorry. I feel like I have not communicated this well. You should already have like 7 of these unlocked of your abilities.
Oh. Oh,
You
okay.
should have those in the first session too, unlocked actually.
Oh.
Yeah. You're fine.
Character sheets are a whole thing. It happens.
Again, imagine
Chat,
caring
I
about
took a
rules.
look at
Forgot
the
the
character
previous roll,
sheets,
so I
so
just
this
did
is my
it
fault.
again.
Yeah.
So that is. Oh my god, what is math? The roll was 11, plus my willpower would make that 13, plus 1 is 14. And yeah, I'll add my 3 points to it, so that's 17.
Yeah, this is just a flat thing because you just get to know this. You
Oh.
are like, I'm gonna say your like head is just poking out from one of the like gun ports.
Pretty much.
You can hear all this, and you can, and then you start channeling. And what does it feel like for you when you start like sensing people's emotions on purpose? Like, how does that magic feel or look for Arden?
Honestly, I think she would, or they, oh my god, my brain, y'all,
okay.
it's
You
been
got
a week.
You got
It's
it.
been
You
a
got
really
you, listen.
fucking long week.
We're
I
all here for
can't.
you, okay?
I am so tired. Anyway, yeah, I think it's more that they see like different strengths of auras, like almost like, you know, colored auras of like mostly purple shades just because of the nature of like the environment where they are, and just the way that the ether interacts with people. So yeah, depending on the captain's feelings, like first of all, they would notice like if it's a very strong emotion or something that's more muted, just depending on how like bright the aura is. But if it was something like maybe darker, that could mean something more negative versus like something lighter, meaning more positive.
Okay. I'm gonna say you're pretty familiar with like the language of these auras. So you sort of just poke your head out, and you can't technically see this captain. They're on their ship, like on deck. But just like them saying that, you almost see their aura extend off the side. It's like their voice has exuded a gas that is this aura. And you can tell they're very nervous. They're very nervous. And you can ask me 2 other questions outside of just their... Because you got a full success. Just outside of their emotional state.
Okay. I mean, the main reason for this vibe check was like to see how truthful they were being about this. Like, are they really like not at all like trying to track us or follow us?
I think you can see that like the nervousness they have definitely spikes when they're like, we don't know about any conspiracy, and you're like, to you, that is a pretty clear indication that someone's lying. Like, look, lie detector tests in real life are pretty unreliable because they just do like heart rate. You know for sure that this isn't just nervous about the situation because you can see it actively spike in real time with that. And there's also a certain hint of like, I don't know exactly the right word for this. It's almost like pride or like being sly of them being like, I think I've gotten away with this lie. Because yeah, Drake, you kind of buy it because they definitely have admitted to like, yeah, we were hiding something from you, and they look pretty scared. This captain, she does not look like she is lying to you. Everything you would say is not, but Arden, you're like, mm-mm.
Not quite it.
Yeah. Because, yeah, the captain was technically lying to you, just, you don't get to know that when I'm rolling to lie.
I mean, no, I figured as much. It's just, I was, Dre was definitely kind of feeling that as like something about that seems a little fuckish. Nah, I wasn't with that fucking anyway. So, I think, like, kind of looks down, peeps Arden's kind of like, face just like, it's like, sorry, love, my eyes don't buy that. What else you got for me?
You assume her first mate, who is like currently crippled on the floor, there is an extra swear of like shit, of just they got us, more so than the swearing they've already doing because their kneecaps are bent in the wrong direction now.
We're no longer in combat, right? But we're no longer time play, so I can take an action. Okay, cool. I still have my gun drawn. I still have. I can do. Can I do a thing though?
Here comes trouble.
The guy on his ground holding his knee. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot him in his fucking face.
Yeah.
I'm gonna blow his fucking head out. Like the moment, like after I say like that's not good enough for me, I'm gonna turn, shoot him in his fucking head, and go lie again, and someone else dies.
Well, damn. He can't move. He effectively has injuries, which means he has negative to a bunch of rolls.
That was the point.
I'm gonna assume that fail that you would have made it so they're all physical stats, like being able to dodge away from a bullet, or where those injuries are. So yeah. I'm gonna say you have to roll. Just to see if you really fuck up, but like, there's no way this man rolls higher than you, so you just have to roll any success category.
Okay, I will use, I don't know, I guess...
It's just your brawl skill,
oh, cool.
or your swashbuckling skill.
Oh, you're right.
Swashbuckling skill is guns and swords.
Yeah, and swashbuckling, for me, I have a +2 in that by default, yes?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so I will use that as well as...
Change to your character sheet. You should have 2 in your special skills.
You got it. Don't worry about it. I'm going to put 2 in that, and then I'm also going to use my dexterity as my stat for it, because why not?
Yeah.
So that's that, and that's a pretty good roll. That was D6 was cocked, though, because it landed on a bit of plants on my desk. Cool. Fixed.
Nice.
So that's 14. I will spend 2 AP to make it a 16. Or 3 to make it a 17. Why not? I'll spend 3. Make it 17.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, this man, there is no way in hell he rolls high enough because he's effectively rolling with 2 dice and like negative rolls. So you're fine. You wouldn't have to even spend points if you don't want to.
Oh,
but
well, then I won't.
You're about to get him back anyways.
Cool.
Yeah, so you just shoot this guy in the head, and the captain's sitting there, and you see her flinch, and she doesn't stop looking at you.
Good.
She's like, fine. We, and also a lot of the other, especially small ships in this area, in the whole of the storm even, have been asked to report on you. Specifically, the Lady Rachel, or the Royal Sunrise, or whatever you're calling yourselves now.
You had it right the first time.
They gave us 4 different names, just in case you went to one of your other pirate buddies and asked to borrow their ship.
Clever.
Wait, we have buddies?
Reese, we don't tell them we don't have any friends.
Out of character, that's a fair thing to say, but they're also counting your rivals as potentially people you might be able to get.
Oh no, I am fully in character willing to have Drake just be like going like, Reese, we don't tell them we don't have any friends, okay?
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, just looks there and he's like, well, that's curious. And who's still curious about little old me?
She sort of rolls her eyes a bit. It's like, I don't expect pirates and scholars to get this, but we have a chain of command where I don't get to ask questions, I follow orders.
And I'm not sure if you get this, but I have a loaded gun and you have an unshot face. We can fix that if I need to.
The people who own my ship
Yeah, real
told me.
specific, honey.
I worked for one of the storm. I worked for various storm islands. All of the nobles around basically own timeshares for this thing. I don't get to ask questions. Every noble lord on the whole island, on all of the islands of the storm, have been told to ask this of every single ship of a size that you might attack.
Interesting. Big players involved. Must be a lot of money behind that. I'm flattered almost. Well, if there's not much else you can offer us, then I guess I appreciate the information more than anything else. You're very cooperative.
And I think she's like, now, there's some stuff that I might know about who is asking questions. If I can get some assurances that we're leaving this in one piece.
Looks down at the bleeding corpse of her friend over there. Just, we've taken enough pieces.
And she's actually going to roll against you just to see if she can get you to, like, do one other little thing. We'll see how this goes, but you're gonna have to roll... you think I would know all of my stuff. You're gonna have to roll me some negotiate. I'm gonna say, I'm just any kind of subtlety.
Okay.
But I'm assuming something like negotiate to see...
Oh, I got this. Okay, go ahead and roll. I'm gonna roll. I got this. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, that's big money!
She got 13.
Oh, that's not good enough, baby boy.
Yeah. A combative roll is effectively, you just have to succeed and roll higher than the other person.
Cool,
The categories don't really matter in a combative check as much. So, it is flavor still, but it's not like consequences. Anyway, so she got a 13.
Yeah, so I don't know how lucky I want to make my desk here, but I rolled a 6 and a 5.
Damn.
So, you know,
Damn.
that's big numbers. Plus, I'm using subtlety and flatter. And I'll happily describe how I do this, by the way, if you want me to.
Absolutely. So she's like, the thing that she's rolling for is, all right, but when I mean assurances, like, you are going to untie from our boat, undo the plank, and I will yell to you who it is that I found out is asking the questions.
Yeah, so Dre will hear that, cock an eyebrow, point his pistol back at her, and then begin walking across the planks. Again, gun on her the whole time to make sure she doesn't move or anything crazy in this whole thing. Approach her, face to face, close in a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more. Why don't you just tell me,
Being very, very close. And I know you rolled flatter, but this feels very intimidating. I'm still gonna go with flatter. It's fine, but just like she like looks you up and down and a little bit like the Inter-Island Trading Company. They don't normally come visit our little island where we dock, but there was one of their ships there the day that my partner told me this is what they were told to do.
Interesting. Appreciate your cooperation. DM, is she wearing any noticeable jewelry or anything? Like a necklace, anything like that?
I don't think it's a necklace, but she does have, like, I guess it's like a brooch or a pendant on her sort of jacket.
Cool. Snatching that.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's like an amber something or other. It's definitely been polished and round. It doesn't have anything in it, but it's like this very clear, reflective, almost like meditative-looking piece.
Pretty. I'll take
it. Silver on that side.
Yeah, I'll snatch that from her. I'll look it up and down, pocket it, just... The Lady Rachel will give you no troubles as long as you are around these part of the seas. You have my word to that. I'll also be, and I'll hold up the pendant again, asking around about people like you. See what else I can find. So, be safe out there.
I have a question. You're definitely telling the truth?
Of course.
You don't have to roll the lie, but okay, yeah, just wanted to check. She does, like, look at you, and there's, like, again, a bit of a flinch when you take the brooch. I think she was expecting something a little more aggressive, and just... Fine.
And I'll turn back, to let the crew know, like, under the ties. Get ready to move the plank up. I'll have to start moving it. I can just hop over it, totally fine. But and the last thing that I'll do, because he's an asshole and can't let this ride unscathed. Noticing the slight flinch as he took the brooch, he'll reach up again with the hand holding his gun, just nudge her a bit in the head, and just relax, sweetie. Not my type. And I'll turn and walk away.
As you took it away, it's like, likewise. I also can't vouch for my partner, Anita. She's probably gonna come for you.
Good. I like a woman who chases me.
You won't like this one. And she waves to her crew. And they all just start packing up. I have a question for Oliver. Do you say anything about the state of the two crewmates down there as you, like, leave across the plane?
Oh, as I'm gonna say something to Dre.
What's up, boss?
Yeah.
I'm not part of the crew, right? And I'm gonna kind of gesture towards the ship and, like, hold a marble and say, better safe than sorry?
I like the way you think, boss. Listen, I'm a non-commissioned officer. I have no authority over you. What you do is just not in my hands. Just turn and look away.
Alright. In that case, I'm just gonna wait until, we're a suitable distance. I'm not gonna do anything yet.
Okay.
Take your
I am
face.
worried. Okay. So yeah, you guys, I assume, are heading up instead of out. That just seems like a tactically good decision for you, right? Dre?
Yeah, we'll head out. We're good.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just saying, direction-wise, up or just out in the direction?
Oh, we'll do kind of both. I know we came out from a cloud layer, kind of like down onto them,
Yeah.
so I wouldn't mind heading back up into that same cloud layer, but also away.
Yeah. So yeah, you can see down below you this other ship, and I just wanted to know because, yeah, Oliver, if you want to hit this thing, you can, but
So
it's a pretty far throw.
what are they using to stay afloat?
They likely have their own Aether engine. You heard a certain amount of humming. It's basically doing some very limited channeling, and you could see that where the boat meets the gas ocean, there is a lot of movement, so it's probably sucking gas into this engine, channeling just enough anti-grav to keep it on the surface, and then back out. It was likely at the other side of the ship from the storage where you were at.
Gotcha. In that case, I'm gonna use Magical Shot, charge a marble with as much energy as I have. And my goal is to just essentially blow up their engine and or as much of their ship as possible.
I like both of those things.
All right, yeah. Roll me. Roll me the just the throw. We'll see about the explosion.
All right. Oh yeah.
Sorry, I'm
That's
making
an
jokes.
18.
We're having a good time, all right?
Well, damn. Okay.
We're having a great time tonight.
What kind of marble are you using?
I'm using just the combustible aluminum, so I'm just gonna try to create as big a fireball as possible.
Okay. So I'm gonna say one that you did pick up the two marbles you threw before, but this is gonna be that marble's not coming back.
Oh yeah.
So definitely.
No, I
mark
wasn't
it down.
expecting that.
You're not getting this one back. Yeah, because you rolled really, really good. You just you put every amount of skill you have in this, and you almost just flick it more than throw it, because this is more exactness than it is distance, because you're above it. And you don't throw it on the deck. You actually throw it where you think the gas intake is. Right at the edge. And for a second, you're like, maybe I missed, and the explosion's happening under the ocean. And then you see the thing rattle. And then smoke starts coming up from, like, the I don't know, they call it like the grate that's over the hold so they can easily get stuff into the hold. And you see a lot of panicking people very quickly scrambling around on the ship. Roll me plus your magic skill again. We'll see if this thing goes down.
Okay. So which skill am I rolling? Sorry.
Actually, just roll me 3d6. I think this is more
Okay.
about luck than it is about the oomph you put behind this.
Ugh. That's a 7.
A 7.
Oh.
You see them starting to sink. You do not know if they are fully crippled or not, but they're definitely not going anywhere anytime soon.
Well, at the very least, that'll buy us some time.
Yeah, Drea just watch, he's like looking, like he turns back to look as their ship kind of starts to like damage a bit, and like he doesn't say anything in response. He just kind of has a very focused glare. It's not anger so much as just ire.
Mm-hmm.
It's not at any of you. It's at their ship.
Mm-hmm. For your benefit, Lucian, that's a heroic failure, so you don't get to do the thing you wanted to do, but you still like damage them pretty severely.
Right.
Because the throw was real good.
Oh, I also
Especially for something like that's ridiculous. I'm just like, nope, this is a 2-roll deal. Anyway, sorry.
Oh no, I totally blanked out for a bit. Can I justify using one of my captaining skills to help improve that roll? If it would have helped at all for Lucian? Because I technically
I'd say sure.
yeah, because
sure.
I gave him an order, so I could use my my captaining skill to improve his roll. I could spend SC. Yeah.
Yep. So it's
Basically
effectively
not give him an order because you didn't want the.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty clearly an order that wasn't an order.
just what's your captain skill? We'll add that to the roll, and we'll add Lucian's.
I think it's by default. My captaining skill is just plus
magic,
2.
too.
Yeah, it's any social stat. So I'm gonna say it's I'll use subtlety for this one because I'm being subtle with it. Obviously.
Subtlety is the one I'm
subtlety.
going to ask for that. You're
Same.
like,
It's,
I
mean,
can't tell you not to.
Yeah.
So yeah, what was that total?
So I should roll it. Okay, rolling it.
Just add the number. He rolled.
Oh,
We're
it's
adding
a
to
2.
his roll.
Subtlety is 2 for me.
Subtlety is 2,
And then I'm gonna I'll also spend I'll spend 3 SCs since we're gonna get him back soon. I'll spend 3 SC.
So that's a 14. So yeah, that's a comedic success. You 100% you see as the smoke clears for a second, you're like, oh, or like the smoke is coming up, you're like, oh, I didn't really get it. As you're even a little further, you see this just like plumage of flame, almost like just a mushroom cloud-esque from the top of it, and it starts sinking. As a comedic success, you've definitely sunk it, but you also know they do have a bunch of like lifeboats, and they do definitely have people on there who can channel to replace the engine, but you have obliterated the engine, for sure.
It's fine. There are other pirates out here. They won't last long.
All right.
Yeah,
And they don't have a radio, so they can't tell someone that they're not here.
The moment like the secondary plume pops up, like Oliver, you notice like the glare of ire, just like there's a very small corner of just like a really sick smirk on Dre's face. Like, still doesn't say anything though.
Anyways, so that's sort of the adventure of this day, this first day of sailing.
Pretty good first day.
What I would like to, all right. So I want to do a thing that's not in the rules because I never make. No one can make enough rules for everything. I'd like everyone to roll just a d6, and we're gonna say all the scholars are combining their roll, and all the pirates are combining theirs, just to see, how lucky y'all are with some of this stuff. Like what's going on?
Big 6.
The 4.
Oh, they got a 2.
Got 5.
Fuck, Quinn,
5.
step it up.
I have not kept track of these, so
Everybody, hold your numbers up. Everybody, just hold your numbers up. Make it easy for the boss.
That's not helpful. I'm going to ask the pirates once everyone's rolled what they got.
What do you mean?
All right,
Take just look at the overlay. Look at the stream.
Oh
there you
boy.
go.
We got a 13
You're
real
making me
fast.
into
13
the
and a 10.
Fuck you. 15 and a 10. All right, 13 and a 10. So, there is a few weeks to get to the where the Wandering Continent is coming down. With the pirate roll, you guys managed to catch this updraft in the storm that happens pretty regularly, right on the outskirts, and you get the height you need. You unfortunately don't manage to run into any other marks, any other targets to sort of pirate. And you know, as you leave the storm, you could try and attack other ships you see, as you're sort of in the doldrums now, the place where there's not currents. But you also know that those are likely other people who are coming to the Wandering Continent. You all are going to effectively be floating in the same space for like a few days, so maybe it's not a good idea to attack them on the route there, because
Makes sense.
if you don't put them down, they are going to be around. Also, they're more likely to be prepared for violence than your average trading ship.
Listen, we already got a good mark. We got some good haul from that one. I'm ready. I'm willing to just chill out till we get to a place to sell off whatever we got. Make a little profit, keep moving.
For the scholars, this is probably more of a question than it is me telling you what. What are you guys sort of doing to occupy yourselves on the way there?
It's
This is
working! What the fuck y'all mean?
You have enough crew to work. I mean, they can just work to help run
Part of the ship,
but
part of the crew! I'm sorry, I'll behave.
if that's the conversation you want to have, we'll have it, but I'm just going to ask this question real quick.
It's fine, go ahead, it's fine.
So personally, since we picked up that I forget what we called the material, but there was that material that we had taken off of the Southern Pale. I would probably spend some time studying that and see if it's usable at all for my marble.
Yeah, it's aether-infused metals, mostly. It's extremely light on the sort of unknown aether material. It's effectively the glass that they use to store etheric energies. But you don't know how it's made because it's a closely guarded secret. So if you want to try and study that, you can definitely be doing that, and we'll get back to that in a bit. What about the other two?
Well, I mean, I would probably, like, after, this first day, and, we've already gotten to a fight with another ship, like, I would probably just, like, check in with Professor Osterk, like, is he okay? Like, is he just hiding below deck the entire time? Like, is he okay? I'm just worried.
So, you, immediately after, and maybe a few other times, you just check in and see how he's doing. After this fight, he actually rolled really high, and in that case, I actually want to make it that he didn't notice, because that's the better option for him.
Lucian.
He was drinking. You inform him that there was some kind of, because he's like, what? There was danger, violence, and you inform him, and he actually takes it really well. Like, he's a little nervous, but he's an idiot, not a coward, I'm gonna say. So he's like, oh, that's troublesome. There's people asking after the ship. And he has, after, Oliver has kind of forced him, reduced the books he's brought greatly. At this point, he actually is getting really close to the owner of the ship and the, I forgot the word for the quartermaster. That's it. Bhavani, like, those two, I've actually started, like, digging through many of his books, and in fact, now all of his books are just on her bookshelves. Like, she just moved some of them to another place, and he just has his bookshelf now. And he's actually spent quite a bit of time in there, like, reading and studying it. Now he's actually studying the book she has on various, various ship subjects. But he's actually digging into, like, who owns what island on the Storm Islands, who would have been involved in the inter-island trading company, and why they would be after you. And I think that's what he spends most of his time. And if you check in on him, just for flavor, do you want to, like, check in on his emotional state? Because he's going to tell you he's fine.
Sure, I'll do that.
Check the vibes.
Yeah, this is going to cost you points.
Always.
But, like, he does seem actually kind of nervous despite how he's putting on of, like, but he's comforted by the fact that he's doing something. Like, him doing this research is what is comforting him. Like, I am trying to solve this problem, and that's helping him a lot. Although he's not getting very far. He knows, like, all the names of all of these different, like, owners of various islands and lightning harvesting plantations and, like, the members of the IIRC. Or no, what is it? That's not it. Damn it. IITC.
Inter-Island Trading Company. There it is.
Yes. Yeah, so he's doing okay. He's a little rattled, but you think he's gonna survive this. You gotta be a little brave to wander onto a continent that is lost to the ocean many, many times and keeps coming back up, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Arden is probably still, like, over the time just gonna I can occasionally like make sure he's eating. Like like I just imagine like he
Mhm.
like doesn't like come out of the library at all. So so they like bring like a glass of water or something and like move it into their hand like while he's studying. Just like
I think there's an empty glass
drink
when you
the
come through,
water.
and you just like replace that, and he just doesn't even notice sometimes. He's just like, oh, there's water in it now. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just making sure he's
Vani
okay.
very much is appreciating that, and I think talks to you quite often about like, I think he's making good progress. I don't know that we'll find anything. It's not exactly a library, but
Hey, if anyone can find out information from just between pages and between lines, it's Ozturk. He knows.
mm. But yeah, and I think that that's sort of what happens in these few weeks, and you guys are just soaring as high as possible when off in the distance you see what looks like a really oddly shaped thick cloud. And as you get closer, you realize it's actually a huge number of ships. And at first you're like, oh, those are a lot of small ships. And then you see even more detail, like, oh no, those are some very big ships and some small ships. And eventually you get close and you're like, no, this is larger than any fleet you've ever seen, and is actually in this huge, almost like half circle. And you realize that you are here in the spot where the wandering continent is going to land. And as you look up, you see high in the distance, like way in the sky, just like a faint shape. And I think that's a great time for us to head to break.
Shit, I guess so. Fuck. All right.
Oh shit.
Let me
All
the fucking. All right, yeah. So we're all set to go, folks. We'll be right back. Some shit's going on. Don't go anywhere. Stay safe. Bye bye.
Hello.
We back.
How you doing, Twitch? Thank you for
Yeezo.
waiting. This is the Violet Sea, the actual play stream of my custom try system that is definitely a whole thing. Anyways, I always feel awkward talking about the system I have made, like I'm either being self-aggrandizing or stupid. I can't tell the difference. Anyways, so when we left, our crew managed to make it to sort of the space everyone is waiting for the wandering continent to reach back down into breathable atmosphere range. I think you guys would realize, especially those of you that are ship mates, like you already know how this whole airship thing works really well, and probably the scholars of you understand this on like an academic level. But there is a certain point where you could go higher and still probably be okay, but it starts getting risky over a certain altitude simply because the smaller ones of you on the ship might have a harder time breathing. Uh, I think definitely airships that go higher often have like some kind of ship pet, like a bird or something that is effectively the canary in the coal mine. Of like, when this thing has trouble doing stuff, we go no higher. Uh, just depends on the ship and the crew whether they actually care about that or not. In combat, you can go higher, but right now you're like, not doing that. And that's basically the level that all these airships have gotten to. As you sort of approach this fleet, I think that Ozturk would be on the top deck once he finds out and he's looking. He's mostly looking up at like the bottom end of this wandering continent, but he's also sort of looking around. He's like, oh yeah, they have internationally and legally made this an armistice space. You're not allowed, and he actually says this in like big quotes, like allowed to do violence, but generally you can get away with self-defense, is my understanding.
Huh.
It is quite fascinating that they've all agreed on this, but it's a necessity. You can't have a whole war breaking out just over one continent.
What you're telling me, Oskirk, what you're saying here is all I have to do is shout, "They're coming right at us," and then we're able to just do whatever we want.
And it's like, well, yes, except you would also need to be able to justify yourself in front of an international court. So usually that's reserved for those with
I
money.
did justify myself. I yelled, "They're coming right at us."
Reese, relax. Even pirates follow a code.
But also, maybe I'm not clear. That has only ever worked for people in militaries who can have a government defend them. Can you make everyone around you believe that they're coming at you? Otherwise, you're going to be taken to court. And I hesitate to say this, and I mean this with the utmost respect, but no one on this ship, including me, has enough money to defend themselves in that kind of situation. We just don't. It's unfortunate.
None taken.
However, I do believe that does give us a unique opportunity that we can choose who we socialize with. I'm sure you can, as ship experts, look at which of these ships will be, say, more friendly to our cause, or at least to us, or not. And yeah, you, as you get closer, can see there's different flavors of ship. You can also look down and see that there's several not airships that are on the ground that are much bigger and heavier, and probably have a lot more stuff on them that just isn't feasible to get in the air. Probably even construction equipment, for those of you who are familiar with what is on the Wandering Continent and why people go to it.
I mean, let's think about this logically, though, Oskirk. Given the information that we recently received, could we really say that anybody would be friendly to our cause?
Man's got a point.
Well, I would assume if it's the IITC, that people who don't like them would be less likely to do what they say.
So our kind of people.
Precisely. And yeah, you can see all these ships have very different styles and flavor to them, you could say. And no one's fighting, but definitely there are a lot of military ships in one area. It's actually like the dead center, which is arguably one of the better places to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then on one side of the curve, what looks like more, you would say, wealthy, legitimate business people, and on the other side are the less legitimate ones.
We over there with the movers and the shakers. We over there with them. That's where we moving.
Mm-hmm.
We headed that way.
Yeah. As you sort of are just looking for a space, you can go just below or just above some of these ships, but it seems like everyone's kind of agreed on this is the altitude we're going to stay at, mostly. You can also see that there are still some pretty large ships over here. They're just all old. And in fact, there's at least 3 different, old military ships before they really got good at, getting a lot of lift. They are not armor-plated, but they're big, old, wooden, almost, classic galleons. That would have a lot of space for guns, but every single one of those 3 has been repurposed in some way. There is one that looks like it is like a shop. It has a big sign on it that says expedition supplies, food, and weapons sold here. Low prices, discounts available, and a bunch of other random graffiti you think people like to just draw on it. All right. Sorry, guys, I am bad at music, apparently.
Friend, you got this.
You got it. Yeah, that's fine.
Oh?
That's a touch dramatic.
That is a touch dramatic. What are we gonna do here?
It's a touch dramatic.
I was like, cool, we're going places, and then all of a sudden,
Done.
What these?
They're coming right at
Wait,
us.
no, that's low-key the best way to declare combat. It's like, oh yeah, let's get some chill music going.
Us.
That's a great way to declare combat goes. It's like, here comes some nice chill music, but play some combat music. Everyone's like, DM, what's this? It's like, you know what this is. you know what this is.
You're just riding down the road in Skyrim and the fight music starts playing.
You're like, oh god, no, please.
not like this.
It's like a cover shooter where you walk into a room and you're like, that's a lot of waist-high cover and ammo.
All right, well.
Anyways. So there's one there's a slightly smaller one, but only slightly, that has a big sign on it and that I wrote down the name on. Give me a sec. Oh, it's a big sign that says The Cloudy Ale. Drinks, music, women.
Friends, I know where we're headed!
Oh, God.
There's also on that sign, someone has added definitely more handwritten and less nice, and men after women.
Even better!
It's like, okay. And then there are two others that seem to be more like the center of some kind of flotilla. Like, there's a bunch of ships attached to it that all have the same flag. So those two seem like maybe larger pirates might be the wrong word, but definitely less legitimate scalpers isn't right. Scavengers of the continent. Like, they probably do not have any kind of, like, government assistance or permit to do this, but no one's really going to stop them because the Wandering Continent has no, like, government to speak of, so...
Imagine following the government.
And in fact, you see Ozturk looking at those two, and even you, the scholars, have never seen him really angry, with very few exceptions, but he definitely looks pissed at those two over there. He's not going to say anything, he's just not happy.
Yeah, beef duck?
As you,
What's up with that?
Yeah, well, if you are as familiar with the history of the Wandering Continent as I, you'd understand that there was a time where it maybe would have been possible for us to restabilize it. It used to be that when it exited the ocean, it never went above this point. You could have stayed on it the entire time, but as less careful geologists, let's say, less careful mineral scavengers have continued to pull from it. They've not done so in an even, safe, or reasonable way, and it's... And he just sort of sighs, like, oh, I think it might be completely unsalvageable. Now all we can do is hope to learn from it. It was before my time, but...
World don't care about places or people, Doc. World just takes.
I see that that's unfortunately true. The more I've been trying to figure out this place.
Yep.
Or, he says as he gestures directly upward now.
Yeah.
At the shape that you would swear is just a little closer. You know it's going to be like a few more days. You made pretty good time, but...
Yeah, actually, it's going to be... I think that's going to look up at it and just go... Speaking of that, how many days we got, Doc?
I would say 2. Really more like 1.5. Come sundown, a day or so from now, it'll be close enough that people will start rushing towards it. Those that are in a hurry are more foolhardy. Not those that need to set up true mining operations, but...
Well, then we're here in good time. We can use the rest, too. Tell the crew to get themselves ready.
Mm-hmm.
We'll pack up for a bit. I see a nice looking tavern ship over there. Let's see if we can't find a good time.
Mm-hmm. In fact, you notice that the shop and the tavern ship are pretty close to each other. There's not a lot of space, and both of these ships have basically docks that have been built off the side of it. You assume that they're like pretty easy to collapse while they're moving, but you can sort of just tie your ship to them fairly easily.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, he's kind of like looking a little more seriously. Like kind of like it has been since we got here. Has been looking a bit more like focused. But I think as they close in on the ship, maybe he hears a bit of the music a bit, and it's kind of like starting to lighten up a bit. You know, tries to kind of become his usual self. Turns a bit like, all right, lads and lasses, get yourselves up. We're on ship. We're off duty for a bit. Everybody off the deck. Your orders to drink. Have a good time, and find someone pretty to fuck.
At that, several of the crew definitely cheer. I think I need to make sure I have all of these names. Danil, your sort of lead rigger.
My favorite.
Yeah, no, she cheers probably the loudest, and she's like, I bet 5 times, and someone else like, nah, you're only getting 3, and you know she's betting on how many people she's going to bed before you are back.
I'm proud of her. I love her. She's my favorite. I love her so much.
Yeah, she just like, basically as soon as the boat is within range, like even before it's fully tied down, she just swings out, lands on the deck almost perfectly as she is a wind runner, and can like channel air specifically and cushions her blow, and is already tying the ship off before it's even fully stopped because she's like, gotta go.
Understandable. And yeah, you just kind of hang out on the deck.
I assume.
Yeah.
And I assume you're tied to the bar ship, not the shop ship.
The more important
it's close enough. You probably could even, like some of you that are more magically inclined could almost make it to the other side if you were clever about it. But there's several small ships that are just like, pay me a copper, I'll get you to the other side kind of deal.
Solid.
The space is sort of yours.
Yeah, I mean, I guess definitely Drake's gonna immediately kind of open the door towards sort of like the bar ship and definitely indicate that he's headed towards there, and like let any other party members and other parts of the crew know like they're free to join him. But honestly, just like turn to the crew overall, just kind of say like, the time is to yourselves. Do whatever you want. Just be back on the ship by sundown. Make sure you get some good rest. By tomorrow we'll set up and get everything nice and ready to move. So have a good time. Take a load off. Don't think about it too hard, but just don't get lost or hurt.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, they've all sort of dispersed, mostly to this very large sort of tavern space. The top deck has just sort of a band or two playing, which
wait, hold on.
Copy.
Hold on. Cut that. We're about to go hang out at a bar and get really smashed before we go do some important shit in a day or two. I think we all know what's appropriate here, yes? DJ? I think it's oregano time.
It's fucking oregano time.
I think it's oregano time, DJ.
We found this song, and it's definitely not in universe. But man, it's real good.
Turn my shit off, DJ!
Oh, fuck.
In universe music, there's definitely one plant, and I'm putting this in the show chat on our Discord if you want to see. There's at least one band playing this. This is kind of the vibe. It's Ain't No Rest for the Wicked jazz version. We're gonna have so much fun with this.
I'm sorry, what's happening? Something important going on? I'm so sorry.
It's oregano time.
It's oregano time, okay?
It's oregano time, right? No, it's just for chat. If you're on a Discord, I am putting various just YouTube music videos onto the show chat every time. I'm like, this is what's playing in universe, and yeah. Lot of chat.
Boy. So yeah, I just like So I almost called you captain. Like that's Anyway, Lorist, if you don't mind, just set the scene for me. What's happening around this place? What's going on in this bar?
Yeah. So on the top deck, it seems like several enterprising other ships have set up little stalls of just, we found these cool things, buy these trinkets. It's a lot of various random like weapons or fruit from exotic places from wherever they're from. There's one place that seems to be selling like pets. Like these people have found various random animals from around that are considered usually friendly to people and are easy to tame. At least that's their claim. And then yeah, there's like a band playing up here, and this is not even the actual bar. If you head down below decks, there's like a captain's quarters that you aren't given access to, and there are several crew just like standing guard there. But that's, sort of at the back at top decks. When you go below decks, they have cleared out both of the cannon layers, or at least the top two cannon decks, taken out the floor, and it's just a large open area. And it's pretty smoky. There's a lot of people smoking various cigars, cigarettes, things. There's like a whole section to the back right that is just like two really large hookahs and whole like circles around it. There's like a dozen different different servers bringing drinks out to people. This is probably the largest bar that most of you have been in, to the point that we modern people would call it a club, honestly. And there is a stage off to the back where there is a more there's also a band playing a different song. It's a little more, I guess, jazzy and fun. They have a lead saxophonist that is just going at it, having a great time at the current moment, because I am obsessed with the music of this, and I'm also putting that link into there. Anyways.
Oh no.
And yeah, there is a big bar closer to the stairs.
Oh no.
Nothing crazy. It's giant steps. It's one of my favorite jazz pieces of the saxophone.
Okay.
Anyways, just having a great time. And then there's a very large bar that is extremely well stocked. And you think that this is what this ship does. Like, it finds wherever there's a whole bunch of people going to be. Those of you who are maybe more familiar with ship history or like being around could probably roll to know more about it, but sorry, when this thing restarts, it says oregano twice, and
it's so great.
Funny.
It's my okay. I'm so sorry for what I've caused. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is the Cloudy Ale, and that's sort of the space you're in. There's a lot of people in here. Like, this is pretty crowded and busy. And you definitely see entire ship crews just very, very drunk and having a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dre's gonna just fall right in with this, it's like, move in, pat some crewmates, walk him by himself. It's like he'll walk up to the bar, pipe down a couple coins of various sizes, as many drinks as that can afford. He'll take one for himself, probably another one for himself, start passing other ones to some crewmates, maybe other people around, see what other pretty women are around in the bar. Just, just having a good fucking time, honestly,
Yeah.
He'll even walk up to fucking, let's see, which one let's do have to like torturing. Let's go with Arden! It's you today!
Did everyone go to the bar?
Did everyone, yeah. Who went to the bar? Did anyone not go to the bar?
Also, can Quinn do something?
Yes.
Yeah, in a
Alright.
second.
Alright.
Well, I want to know who's at the bar just for this scene to sort of play out real quick.
Yeah, I'm probably going to the bar for a couple drinks.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
going
Hell yeah.
I would have stayed on the ship.
That's fair.
Every party needs a pooper.
Probably not going to the bar. Probably looking around outside in the docks is my plan. I have some things I want to do.
Double the poop into the party.
Quinn currently
Look
has a
at
small
that.
child on his back.
Yeah,
So.
So yeah, Arden, you are at this, and apparently Dre has singled you out as person to bother. So.
Yup! He just walks over, 2 drinks in hand, shoves one at their chest. It's like, good eyes today.
Or
Oh.
last week.
Thanks.
Yeah, last week.
They're my mom.
Yeah, absolutely just has a good laugh at that. Sloshes some alcohol down his throat, spills a bit, and laughs. Just, I'm glad you're here. Honestly, the rest of the fucking schlocks you're with, they're all fucking useless. But you got a spark about you. You looking for more work?
Maybe.
All that education's gonna come with debt.
Study, like there's, all of these, Did you see those weird like creatures that those people were selling over there? Like I don't know. I might want to look
Upper
there
decks.
later.
Yeah, they look fucking tasty.
No, they're here for pets, I think.
Oh, really? I thought they were food prep. Whoops. Listen, I don't know if you know this about me, but I haven't really seen a whole lot, so I don't know a whole lot.
Really? I don't know. I wouldn't have guessed that about you. Sail the world, all of that.
Yeah, well, a lot of my sailing time was done, let's say below deck.
Noted.
Still, glad to have you on board. You're a good person to have around. I'll keep my eye on you, alright?
Thanks. That means a lot. At least speaking to the interactions we had at the very beginning of all of this.
Yeah, a little spicy there, huh? I'm a bit...
Listen. I know my colleagues can be a little spiky sometimes, but they mean well. We're all trying to get to the same thing. And,
Yeah, that's...
maybe learn a thing or two from them. They could definitely learn a thing or two from you.
Say that again. Well, you caught me there. I'll, try to keep my eye on reactions sometimes, alright? In return,
I'd appreciate it.
he'll even look up and, like, nudge your beanie a bit. You cut loose a little bit, alright?
Alright, I mean, that's what I'm here for the drinks for.
That's a good start. Have a good time. Find a cutie you like. Let me know how it goes.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll storm off at that point, let you do your own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
I should say that there are definitely people of various identities, you could say, that are definitely dressed as if to say, hey, I am selling some goods. There's prostitutes around just like trying to get people's attention.
Selling some goods.
Way to say it. So I'm like, they're just...
It was like the attempted suddenly followed immediately by the prostitutes.
I was like, you know what? Sex work is real work. There's no shame in it.
We here at Neon Lights Roleplay support any and all sex workers of any form. Sex work is real work, and all sex workers deserve support and liberation. We should make that statement very clear.
Exactly.
Yes,
The
but also
funny
yes,
thing
there's
is, I heard selling something, and I'm just like, oh, there's like market vendors. Like, that's kind of weird.
Stop the. No, that's not quick enough. But yeah, they're around, mostly at the large tables where there's a lot of very drunk sailors. You assume that they're not bothering people at like the bar. It's the tables that they're ordering a lot of drinks. So and you can definitely see there are several doors around that if you get the sense of a ship, it's like those will go below decks where you assume they have a lot of like rooms and things, both for the crew who actually stay here, as well as for the prostitutes working here. So there's that going on. So that's kind of what, for now we're gonna say that's what Dre is doing. Let's go on to, and I guess Arden, for now. Who else would like to say what they're doing real quick?
Yeah.
Oh, so I was also just gonna chill at the bar. I think what I would have done is ordered like a whiskey, and then instead of getting it with an ice cube, I will have instead just taken a marble out of my pouch, kind of like cleaned it off on my jacket,
That is horribly unsanitary. What the fuck?
dropped it in, and
Keeps them clean.
used it to chill the glass, and just like kind of roll it around at the same time.
A whiskey marble? Is that what we have?
Yeah, so there's just like this metal marble
Small
rolling around
whiskey
in the
marble.
glass,
Yeah.
chilling it at the same time.
I think that the bartender hands you the whiskey with no ice and is a little bit like, doesn't have any reaction to that because he's a bartender, he sees everything. But then you drop that in and there's a little bit of like appreciative nod, like, all right, yeah. Who else? Where's everyone else at?
Well, if no one's gonna say anything, Quinn currently has like bio on his back and is looking for the two people that he thought were the most responsible. So he's looking for Beanie and Marbles.
I've corrupted them!
I mean, they're just getting a little drunk. That's responsible. Come on.
It all starts somewhere.
Yeah.
So he's actually like on like the top deck, right? Like and
Yeah.
looking for them because he wants to go to the shopping ship and like just like see like, hey, is there anything that we need to pick up? And maybe also like get a gift for like, Vio. He's been a good bit. Vio's been good.
A good child. Managed to plug their ears during the fighting a few weeks ago and didn't get too in the way while cooking. That seems good.
Yeah. Oh, well, every time that Captain Dre like, starts talking about like fucking, he's just got like their ears are constantly covered. Boop.
Listen.
Nope, tiny child.
Vio
No.
has not
Honestly,
yet
just cover their ears around me.
sworn
Just,
you,
just,
Earmuffs.
yeah, just get earmuffs for.
That's
God
what you need.
damn it.
But yeah, I guess if there's
Oh.
anybody else like on the top of the deck, Quinn might run into them, but otherwise, he is currently looking for Marbles and Beanie.
Yeah, you
I
can
mean-
see that there's some stalls up here, but you can see across the way that the shopping place has way more. It's an open air market on top of there, so.
I think you probably see Maxwell at least starts by just kind of walking the docks around this area, seeing all the ships tied up. He's going around taking notes of all the ships here, but eventually he was going to get on find one of the ferry boats and try and go over to the shops as well. So
Well, Quinn is not going to actively try to go over to Suits, but is Vio going to like point out? As a question, is Vio going to point out Maxwell and be like, "Yeah, we should go with this guy"?
Ooh, Maxwell, I would like you. What stat would you do to hide the fact that you have magic? I just want you to roll that, whatever that is, really quick. This is going to be basically the roll for the last week or two of being on the ship.
do I even need to? I guess.
If you want to roll the magic
I guess.
skill, because it is subtle inherently, but
Yeah.
I would like some kind of roll here.
Sure. I mean, I don't use it. I basically wouldn't have used it besides the one time I've used it. I don't think I ever had it otherwise, but.
That's fair, but
Alright. That was a really, really bad roll. But I have a couple things that could change that.
Yeah.
I
Although
think-
just know this is none of the players are gonna notice anything. This is for flavor.
Yeah, okay. Sure. I mean, I guess for flavor, I rolled a 6. I don't know what I add on to it. And I don't know
If you're using
if
your
it's-
magic skill, you can just add all the points that your magic normally has.
which would be
So you can add 6. And this isn't going to take resources because this would have been over the whole week, but you
Gotcha.
effectively can use +6 to this if you'd like.
Yeah, I just know I have a skill that lets me re-roll a dice for subtlety, essentially, with
Yeah, okay.
relation to my magic, and I was just wondering if it's worth. I can spend a social credit to re-roll for
Yeah,
spy.
I would say
craft,
just
which
go
I
for
guess
it
is
because
maybe
this
not
is.
exactly it, but
Yeah, I'm going to say spycraft counts. So you can just re-roll a dice. Again, this isn't going to spend resources now.
Okay.
This is over.
so I went from a 1 to a 6, so now it's 11 natural plus the 6 from skill, I guess.
Yeah, okay. You're. Unfortunately, though, Vio, the one skill Vio has, because I think it's very funny, is awareness and noticing things about people. And no one else has noticed this. You rolled really well. But Quinn, while you and Vio are up there, Vio does point at Maxwell and goes, "Oh, it's the flashy guy."
Flashy guy?
That's the nickname. It's like you don't have a good nickname for him. It's flashy guy.
Like, Quinn turns to look where Vio's pointing.
Pointing right at Maxwell.
You talking about suits there?
Yeah. No other explanation given. Just flashy guy.
Children.
Like... Alright. And Quinn kind of just continues to give Maxwell a look. Maxwell, are you actively moving towards the shopping ship?
Yep, I'm moving towards the ferry to move me there.
Well, better to keep your enemies closer. So, Quinn is actually...
Vio be like, no, he seems nice.
He's kind of a little suspicious, though.
Like-
So...
We're hiding from people by being on the ship. We're kind of suspicious.
Kid's got a point.
Quinn can't argue against that.
Kid's got a point. Destroyed by facts and logic. Just saying, like.
More for his own good.
Quinn cannot make an
I did it! I broke Kate! I saw it! It happened!
Suspicious suits.
That's pretty good. Right, anyway.
Okay, so Quinn is gonna keep a bead on Maxwell, but is still going to go look for the two that he thinks are slightly more responsible. Cough, Beanie and Marbles. And does he have an idea where they might be?
I'm gonna say because you guys got up to the deck at the same time, you did manage to see them heading below decks, as you were looking around, but just about now as you were looking.
Got it. So Quinn's gonna head over to the bar, I guess, and see if he can't pick up either Beanie or Marbles from there.
Mm-hmm. And then, last but not least, what's Reese doing?
Reese is doing what Reese does best. He's stayed on the ship and he's tinkering with his pipe organ.
Yeah. Everyone else, it's clashing very strongly with the band on top playing a jazzy version of Ain't No Rest with the Wicked, as you're just going full Phantom of the Opera down there trying to find the wrong notes. And every once in a while it still happens, but I think a few people are now leaning on the rails of the ship, just watching your ship as this pipe organ is shooting clouds up a bit as it's playing, and every once in a while getting a wrong note. Some people are very fascinated by this, but are not getting on the ship, so I don't know that you would notice, but everyone on deck would. So, one thing I would like is from Maxwell. You've written down the notes of all these ships. I would like you to roll some kind of history or something of do I recognize these names? You can pitch me whatever skill you think that would be.
I'm fine with deduce, maybe? If that makes sense, or
Sure. That'll work.
Oof, I'm not rolling great today. It's a 10. I guess
10.
that puts me in the range. I'll spend a credit to bump it up.
Yeah. So this is going to be actually using resources, so just keep track of that. Yeah. So you bumped that up to... I have to have the things out here. Yeah, so comedic success is an 11. So, you are looking around and you write down all these notes. And I think it's you're about to... You get, like, on a ferry to go to the shopping thing. And it's only right when you get there that you're like, no, hold on, I do recognize one of those. Actually, 2 of the ship names. I have to generate one, but one is called, well, funny enough, we just used that word. The Flashy Wren. And you're like, why does that sound familiar? But you're like, that sounds familiar, and I don't feel comfortable with that. The Flashy Wren. You're not sure. But another one you do notice is the, definitely the ship name that I have already generated. Yes, the Ferreira. You recognize that one and know exactly what it's for. That is a pirate ship, technically, but is definitely either known for or it only houses, like, I guess spies is the wrong word, but people who their job is to gather information amongst other pirates. Like, they still do pirating just to keep up a rep that seems real, but you know for sure that not the captain of the Ferreira, but the first mate is someone who does that thing that I just said. They report back to who they sell information to important people and often go and find that information when they are paid to.
And that's the Ferrero Rocher ship?
Yep.
Okay.
Not the Rocher, but it is the Ferreira. Like, you're not, that's the name. It's spelled the same way. Blame fantasynamegenerator.com.
Okay, cool. Would I know? So I know that they sell information. Would I know, like, I'm guessing it's like just highest bidder type of thing? Like whoever's willing to pay them, they'll take.
They collect general information for that, but they also often get contracts to, like, go to this place and find this specific information or report back to me what you see here.
Gotcha. Do they, like, align with specific people as maybe more of the...
It's whoever can pay the most, so generally extremely wealthy nations. They're very good at their job.
Alright,
Captain... Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, the captain is not who you want to talk to, though. They are not unaware, but they're not the person to talk to. Captain Keld Grieve, who you actually need to talk to. Yep. Right?
It's a real cool name. Holy fuck.
Sometimes the yep. But it's actually their first mate who... Unclear what her relationship is to the captain, but the captain's, like, aware, but not really, that Ola Summer, first mate Ola Summer, is the actual information gatherer. And you are aware of her. Maybe you've met her, you can decide that, but definitely you know of her.
Would she know of me because I know of her?
If you know, like, if you are...
I know her.
Met her, then yes.
Yes.
If you've
Okay.
met her, then yes, 100%. If not, we'll roll and see.
Let's go with that. Let's go with that. We do know each other.
Yeah, yeah. Because I'm about to say, she's not the kind of person that if she's met you, she wouldn't know everything about you immediately after.
Okay.
But yeah, but that was the... You see that ship actually docked on the shop that you're on now, not back on the bar
On the
deck.
on the shop owner. Yeah, I would probably,
Yeah.
if I do know of her or know her at least, I would probably want to try and find her and see if I couldn't get a discussion of what the word on the streets is.
Yeah. I'd like you to... No, you're gonna go and do that. So now we just have to decide which one of these to do first. I actually want to stay with this scene. So you are on the shop ship. It has a lot of stalls up top that are other people, and you can see that they actually have, like, someone has drawn spaces where these stalls are allowed to be, and there's, like, crewmates of this ship It's called. The ship doesn't actually have a name anymore, as much as the shop that it houses does. It's called Rusty's Discounts, with the tagline, "You can have anything here if you can find it." Fox is just having a great time with this song.
It's a great song. All right, I can't get over it, guys. All right, it's a really good song, guys.
I already
She's Jesse,
gift
man.
one. I can't do more.
What we need to do is get many gifts and slap them together as the GIF response of him just like doing random dances.
You will all suffer for this.
Okay,
I'm
they'll just-
prepared for the consequences.
Listen, the Valentine's Day one shot is soon. All right, that's all I'm saying.
Anyways, so yeah, all these stalls have basically anything you think you could find. It's definitely like you don't want to ask if they found this, bought it, or stole it, because this is all definitely pirate ships selling stuff up here. But there is fruit. There is actually several water stalls, and you can see these people have actively been collecting water from the air around them and just dumping it into a big barrel for just standard stuff. There's dried meat. There's definitely everything you could find on the other one. The other one is just lax, and you don't have to pay for, but you almost have to fight for the spots there. So you could find stuff up here, but you do not see Ola Summer up here. If you want to do some other shopping, you could, but I think you probably go down into the actual shop.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. When you go down
wherever
there,
if you know where I would be
to
trying-
do. Yeah. Assuming you're looking for Ola Summer, you don't find her up there. And when you go down, this has a similar setup to the other ship where they've taken out like 2 or 3 decks to make a much bigger space. But instead of taking it all out, it's like there's an upper ring with a bunch of merchandise, and then you can see down from that into the lower level where there's also then more. And there's a certain amount of organization. Like all the clothes are in one area, all the weapons are in another, all the food in another, stuff like that. But there's like not a lot of there's not a lot of organization inside of that, and that's where you get the tagline, "You can buy anything here if you can find it," probably comes in, and that after that it's just kind of chaos. And I think from this upper level you can see down, it takes you a minute, but you eventually do see Miss Summer sort of down amongst the, I'm going to say the ammunition, which is separate from the weapons. And when I say ammunition, there's darts, throwing knives, bullets. There's even some odd marbles that you know that your new crewmate would be interested in. But, you know, that's where she is at. So you can eventually find your way down there. And how do you approach this person?
Probably in like a nonchalant but straightforward. Look like I'm
Mhm.
looking at stuff, but just immediately just start talking, but like not
Yeah.
directly, very like spy movie.
Yes,
I'm also
so you-
shopping, but I'm just gonna straight up just talk to you.
Yeah. So yeah, you don't hide yourself, and you definitely tell that she notices you, and there is that recognition, but doesn't react as she's just like looking through stuff, and you sort of stand right next to her, and you're currently looking through like bullets, and she just leans over, and it's like, "No, I didn't expect to find such an, let's say, illustrious buy here."
Flatter me, but no, I think you probably did.
I probably did, yes.
How many days have you been here already?
Oh, only one. The first day I mostly kept a low profile and looked around to see who was here, but we do need supplies, so...
What of the bigger nations and the military factions who showed up this time?
I think she weighs if she charges you for information, but in the end is like...
I can just look
there's-
myself. I just figured it might be a little.
I think that's why it's like, on this side at least, where I've been... Well, where I have been, there seems to be the regular assortment. I'd say everyone north of the... Everyone from the equator down has sent somebody. I can't say who they've exactly sent, but they all have privateers here, it seems. But that's usual. Everyone wants to be involved with knowing who's found what and what resources are gathered, and there's a certain amount of... And there's a sly smile. Picking. You know, just little theft here, a little sabotage there. You know how nations get. They hate for someone to be getting too far ahead of them.
Yeah. What's a little backstabbing between friends?
Exactly. No one's really in trouble unless you can prove it.
True. So,
I assume you want something a little more substantial than that.
I do, but I figured that was going to be pay, and I just figured I'd just start with the small stuff of what is general information.
He goes, and?
Has there been any word about the IITC in the area? Over in the merchantiles area?
Like, well, one can always assume that they're there, but... And she looks over. What can you give me for something more specific?
Well... What can I give you?
Yes, what can you give me?
I don't know. What can you
She's
give her,
asking for
boss?
information, you know, but you could just offer money. And remember, you
Yeah.
do have wealth, but definitely this kind of information, the money she works in, is going to be permanent wealth loss, not...
Yeah, I'm trying to think about what I want versus what I would be willing to give, because there's information I know of they're after whatever Osterk's after. But that's what I want to know, is why they're after that. So, assuming...
Say, if you want to roll your spycraft, we can say that you have found other information out separate of this adventure that you could use to trade in if you roll high enough.
Sure. Continuing with my garbage rolls, but maybe not as bad as I think. 15, actually, so not that bad.
And it's back.
You need
15
success.
again.
I'm gonna say you can just make up some facts. I'm gonna say 3, but one of them is definitely false, and she will know.
Yeah.
So the way this is basically gonna work is you can decide to trade 2 of them, or 3 of them, or 1 of them, and you will get that number of answers. However, each one of those you're gonna roll me a d6, and it has a 1 in 3 chance of being false.
Sure. Yeah, I'll give them all, but I won't. I'll give like 2, and then I'll say I have a third one, and then I want the information back. And I'll kind of signal that I'm. They seem to be wanting to stop particular ship from getting to the island. I'm curious why.
Like, that's maybe true, maybe not. What are you willing to... So, you have information to trade then. And yeah,
Yeah.
just come up with, like...
I can think of one already.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the God, I'm now reading notes and failing.
If you're reading
thought
from
I had-
notes, then we're just gonna say that one is 100% true.
Yeah.
Uh,
I was gonna start with that the pale
The
Southern Pale.
Southern Pale.
The
Yeah, the
Southern
Southern
Pale.
Pale. There it is.
Gotcha. Nailed it.
The Southern Pale was recently
Yeah.
attacked by pirates, acting as both a privateer ship and I'm basically just gonna like completely blow the
Yeah,
cover
just say
if she
that.
doesn't already know it.
And I think she goes, interesting. Well, then I could definitely confirm that yes, the IITC is trying to prevent, well, your friend from reaching the continent. You are 100% true on that. Although it's less trying to prevent him from reaching that and more trying to prevent him from leaving if he ever found out what he's trying to find out.
And why is that?
Definitely looks at you, it's like,
I'll go for the other two. Do
yeah,
you want me to just
you
make
have to
something
come
up,
with
or do you
something.
want me to?
If you can come up with something, that's fine. Otherwise, we're just gonna like say that you have written something down on a piece of paper and like hand it to her, just because I don't want to have to stretch the scene out too long.
Yeah. I kind of like the idea, at least, of just like a general idea. I might not verbalize it fully, but
Yeah.
I rolled a
Yeah.
4 for the first one. Jessica said
Good. Yeah.
a specific
You just
ship.
want to roll a 2 or a 1.
Yeah, a specific ship that I know of was supposed to be transporting the same metal that we found, but it never
Yeah.
got to the destination, and it's because whoever was piloting it just stole it for themselves.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it is a pretty common metal as it's used for like lightning harvesting everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, you trade that. And it's like, Well, I can tell you that they are very worried about someone finding out the secrets of what the people in the Wandering Continent were researching. They, of course, don't want anyone to know what that is, simply because then the secret would be out, and I would definitely be able to make a lot of money off of whatever that secret is. And you can see her just sort of, like, smile at the thought. Like, no one pays that much money to keep a secret if there's not someone else who'd pay that much money to learn it. But there's something about what they were researching before the continent fell that they don't want anyone to know.
Interesting. Well, that's quite useful. I guess otherwise, does anyone know we're here yet? Probably not even worth asking you.
But it'd be like, I think you like better than just like, I'm not even.
I'll give her something else to be like, but make sure they don't. Essentially, is what I'm hinting at.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, she's like, they definitely know, but I can always, I don't know, put a word out that you have abandoned your mission. Maybe that will throw some people off.
I'd appreciate it, and I guess the other piece of knowledge is just another piece of knowledge I have, which is that the former captain of the ship that we're on, and basically what happened to him, and why he's no longer, that ship no longer registered, because it's just been missing as far as anyone knows.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I'm gonna say, because that's a real secret as to what happened to him. But I don't think that people are wondering where the ship is. I think they know that this used to be the Royal Sunrise.
Okay. Fair.
Simply because they did have to like get the actual name changed. The charter did drop, and there is an official owner of it. However, that is an interesting secret. I think that you don't tell her the secret, but she is like, interesting. And it's like how that happened. It's like, I don't know that that's extremely valuable, but it might be worth a little bit of rumor mongering. And you know that like her word is good when it comes to this sort of thing until someone pays more. But even just sending out 1 or 2 false rumors, even if she confirms later that the rumors is enough, it's worth something.
That's not an expensive thing.
Yeah. Really, you're paying for how long does she keep saying the rumor is true? Is the thing you're paying for.
Can I say?
Yeah, roll me some like negotiate stuff.
Yeah, sure. I was gonna say, like, I was like, social credit sounds like exactly what I'm spending.
Yeah, exactly. Because this is not a very valuable secret, especially when you tell her, after you've told her what the truth is.
Yeah. Okay, that's really good. Negotiate, you said?
Whatever social you want to. I think negotiate works, but...
Yeah, 17. So.
Okay. Oh, 17 is pretty good. Yeah. That's a lot of value, I think. And you are, like, leaning on, hey, I've given you some pretty valuable secrets, and I can get you more if we don't go down.
Yeah.
And she goes, now, like, that seems reasonable, and you, tell her the secret, which we're not really going to stream. And she says, now, I have maybe an unorthodox ask, but if you manage to beat the odds and survive this, and your friend Ozturk finds out what secret it is they don't want everyone to know. Like I said, it's a pretty valuable secret. I'd be willing to pay quite a lot.
Depending on what secret it is, I'm happy to give it to you.
That's fair. I'm just saying it's gonna be valuable no matter what the answer is.
Oh, true. But it might be more valuable for no one to know.
Well, consider it, she says. You see her pick up. She's been just sorting through all these random bullets in a pile because none of them are, like, organized at all. And she has now gotten just a whole bunch of what looks like small handgun rounds. I think you know that she generally has, like, a very small, like, Derringer pistol hidden on her person at all times.
And I say
and is very good at reloading that.
Basically the bullets that she would use, and I just hand her, like, a handful that I was also pulling out.
Yeah. And just like, well... Until next time, Maxwell. And she says that almost like mocking.
Don't worry, Summer. He'll smile and kind of,
and,
again, look like he's just looking to another thing, pull at it for a while, and then leave. very
Yeah.
much like.
Oh,
nonsense.
very spy shit. Yeah. Anyways, so back on the main ship. Sorry that took quite a bit longer, but the four of you that are on there, including little Vio, I think, yeah, Michelle, or I guess Quinn, you see these three sort of at the bar. I actually kind of assume Dre has gone off to try and find more fun than just hanging out with these two, but that's up to you guys.
Y'all are nerds.
Yep.
Yeah.
At this point, a very beautiful looking singer has gotten up on the stage and is singing the song that I just linked there on the main Discord. But what I'd like is for the four of you to roll me some kind of awareness.
Some kind of awareness, you say?
Yeah. I'll just say for noticing things. I guess you could do deduce. I'm down with that.
We got a 15. I will spend 1 mental point to make it a 16.
E.
I got an 18.
Oh wow.
14 plus 2 is 16.
Hey. Wow.
Yeah, I rolled 2 6s and a 1. So I don't know.
6, 4, 2.
Yeah, 5, 6, 2. Feels good.
Yeah.
Doing math, my brain is working so
You got it.
slowly.
You got it. You got it, Hex.
See Hex
16.
brain.
Steam the steam.
Gears
There's like a bunch
turning.
of like math equations that are
Yup. Bring back the equations meme.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
That's actually me. But yeah, 16.
Okay.
Yeah, so all of you roll really well. I think the four of you are probably in one place. Or actually, no. Dre, do you want to still be at the bar with them? Or
I'll still be here. Yeah, I think I went around to kind of fuck around for a bit, and then kind of coming back, kind of hang out with them for a little, just kind of looking around.
So as you're looking around, you sort of all at the same time hear, I don't know, a voice that I think all of you recognize. And you're just sort of like, stop. And you're like, uh-oh. And Vio, who's still on shoulders, also looks back. And what I want to know is either from Quinn or Dre, what's the nickname that you often give Captain Ajax?
Oh,
What's up?
I mean, I just call him Captain Asshole.
Okay. If Quinn doesn't have a specific nickname for him.
I mean, Ajax is... Quinn probably doesn't have a nickname. Actually, does Captain Ajax have like a fancy hat?
Oh, absolutely.
It's required.
So, Quinn just calls him faulty tricorn.
Oh, it's okay.
So, I think you would understand that Rio cannot say faulty effectively because small child. And so it goes, hey, it's like, is that just like, hey, it's a faulty, it says faulty instead of faulty asshole. And you all is pointing backwards, and you all see as you turn around at a table at the one side of the whole bar is Captain Ajax, and he hasn't seen you yet because he rolled low.
Nice.
But he is very loudly talking, probably about himself to his crew. You're not sure. And is in the bar.
Yeah. Dre picks
Quinn
over
wants
just...
nothing to do with this.
And
He's just gonna
suddenly
go
my
to marbles.
and suddenly my day is ruined.
Yeah, Quinn has a small child. Does Quinn see Beanie and or marbles?
You know, you four of you are right there. Like, you are standing next to each other when this happens.
All right. It's like Beanie, marbles. Let's just go. It's just like 2 hands. It's like time to go.
All right, so how are you gonna avoid being seen? You want to roll me some like stealth of some kind?
I think what you know what I think what Quinn is going to do is gonna do some kind of like a void actually.
Yeah, okay.
So okay with that?
Avoid is more like a physical thing, so we're gonna say you're sort of physically stealthing. You find people to stand behind. I think you probably take Vi off your shoulders because you're already tall,
Mm-hmm.
and like basically hold them like at your waist, and you're finding people to hide behind
Yeah.
who are sufficiently tall.
All right, so I rolled a 10 plus 4, 14, and I'm gonna spend 3 to make that a 17.
Okay. Because he hasn't seen you and he's not aware at all, this is a static roll. You're not contesting his awareness. You're
Okay.
literally just how stealthy can I stay? So you can just spend 2 points and you still get a full success.
Got it. And I guess I'll do
good
that.
Yeah, I don't want you guys wasting points. So yeah, you immediately, like bodyguard training in hand, protect your primary ward, make sure they're on the other side of you at all times from dude who might shoot you, and have just very proficiently just stayed behind various servers. I think one gives you a look and you just very quickly slide them a small coin and be like, I'm just avoiding trouble, and just whoop your way out. You're already on your way out. What do the other 3 of you want to do about this?
I'll let them go first, I guess, honestly.
Especially if you're gonna cause problems.
I mean, if no one's gonna do anything, I feel like Quinn is going to actively try to grab the other the 2 sciencey people and be like, "You're coming with me."
Okay,
They're not
yeah, at that
resisting.
point, yeah, Arden was thinking of just popping up the collar of the coat and just hiding, the majority of the face.
Doing
I don't know.
this.
Fucking noir detective type shit, just...
I feel like Quinn just Quinn kind of lightly smacks Bean and is like, Beanie, that looks suspicious, and just quick pats down, is like, nah, and act natural.
I'll try.
Act normal, but I'm not!
Oliver,
Sorry, you can go, Oliver.
I'm just gonna walk. Just casually walk out.
I mean, I'd like some kind of roll, and if you don't,
Alright.
use it on a roll.
Oh, I should roll that. I dropped a die.
But what if I just leave?
Yeah, I was just gonna leave.
Okay. We go roll and avoid and see what happens.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'll do the same.
Okay, we're going with the same old. That's a 15.
15!
That's not great.
I think Quinn is helping you though, so I think you guys do get Quinn's avoid added to that, which is
Oh.
what? 1, 2? 2. Yes, you
I
both
rolled
get
a
that.
10.
To that.
Okay, so 17.
Okay, it's a comedic success then for Oliver. So I think 2 of you seem to be getting out fine. Oliver, you do feel like you're right in the line of sight because there's only so many people to hide behind, and at one point, if you let me, I think you trip someone so that they make a lot of noise as you leave because you're there's no one for you to hide behind, and you see one of Ajax's crew is about to look in your direction. You just quickly go, whoop, and they start looking at this kerfuffle instead of you, and you're just like, gotta get going.
Yep.
What does Dre do as these 3 are leaving?
That's a pretty girl singing, right?
Yeah.
Cool, not moving.
Now, the bar's at the other end of the room than the stage, so you could also just move closer.
Well, then that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, there's some seats that are closer, and you get right up next to it.
Yep.
And ooh, he got a community success. So as these 3 leave, I think that you're I don't actually care what Ajax is doing, it's fine. And surprisingly, Ajax doesn't seem to notice you, but you sort of stop paying attention to him, and then out of nowhere, you sort of look to your left, and Ajax has moved closer to the stage, and didn't notice you until he also looks to his right, and it goes, Captain Trey.
Captain Asshole. To what do I owe the mispleasure?
And then he starts looking around, but the 3 of you have left. The 3 others have left, and goes, huh. So did you decide they're too hot and left them? I mean in the danger sense, although some of them were attractive.
What I do with my crew is my business. Something you need here? Or are you just here to get on my fucking nerves?
Well, I was here to get drunk and watch the pretty lady, but unfortunately those four are, in fact, my business. Quite literally, actually. I am being paid to find them. And he's actually going to try and roll some amount of his version of the regular version of vibe check.
Okay.
What is it? Insight to try and, you know, see if
Okay.
you're gonna give anything away.
Alright.
You're gonna roll some kind of subtlety. I'm gonna assume deceived, but you
Yeah.
tell me.
Definitely deceive. Oh, big numbers. That's 12, 13, 14, 15. That's a 16 by default. And I will spend... Nah, I won't spend shit. Fuck him.
He got a 14,
Oh, fuck him then,
and
yeah.
he's gonna spend points.
Oh, well, then I'm gonna... Alright, then I'm gonna
Spend
spend some points too. I'm gonna spend 3. Suck my dick. How about that?
Yeah, so he's giving you the look, and you can tell he's trying to see if you're lying, and you just bald-facedly like, "It's my business, man." And he literally gets nothing out of you, and he's just, "Fine, we can then, if that's the case, and that's how it's gonna be, I have no reason to start something here in neutral ground." And he looks around. "You want a drink?" And he calls over a person. He's ordering a drink. You don't need one.
Yeah, Dre will happily just, as the server comes up with whatever he orders, just 2 of those. His tab.
He goes, and yeah, you're having drinks with the enemy.
This is
As
very
this very pretty lady is singing about love.
This is very strange. I feel like I'm possibly in danger, friends.
He,
On a date, kind of nervous.
Stop. I hate you.
Hey, you never know.
I hate you. I hate you both.
I mean, as a note, everyone can have their weapons on them. No one's trying to take those at the door. It's just assumed that, like, if you start shit, it will get ended very quickly by someone who doesn't want, like, the law in here.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I think that's sort of the scene that we can leave that on. The 3 of you leaving the bar, Dre occupying the other captain. And the last thing I'd like is, fail. I want to know, Reese is working on this organ. Is Reese, like, a hyper-focused kind of guy where it's like nothing else exists while he's working on things?
No,
Or would
not,
he be
not
kind
in
of a-
this case. He's
Yeah,
just
okay.
trying to figure out like why he keeps hitting
Mhm.
off notes, even though like he tunes it like frequently. So
Yeah. Well, for that, I would love some kind of mechanical roll of, like, can I figure this out just for funsies?
all right, let me pull that up there. Mechanical. Knowledge. So it's higher. Okay. The 12.
Well. Alright. Sorry, I need to make sure I have this open.
You got it, boss.
That is a comedic success. So, as you're fixing this, you're like, okay, this is going wrong. And you actually realize, oh, this is also working through, like, the levitation system. Like, and so you start looking at that, and you're like, oh, this might be related in some way to, like, anytime it has to put a little more effort because, like, the wind is pushing down, or, like, especially if you're happen to be pushed by, like, the ship that you're anchored to, and it has to strain against that. That's actually causing some of these sour notes. As you go to fix it, I think you actually make the ship a little less stable as a comedic success. Like, so, yeah, I can get the notes out, but now, like, things are gonna rattle a little bit more. So you're still trying to, like, balance those two. It'd be like, I want both of these correct. Yeah, it's one of those things where every time you fix a problem, a new one pops up, sort of deal.
Fair enough.
You're still working on it, but because you're listening really closely, I'm actually going to use that roll. For a second, you're like really trying to feel out the weight of the ship and the notes and all that, and you hear a thud that is definitely not the ship. And you feel just ever so slightly the ship's weight changed for a second and then compensated. And you know pretty assuredly someone stepped on the ship. Like, more than one person got back on the ship. And I think just your instincts are, why did you hear a heavy thud followed by another thud? And people getting on the ship.
Well, at that point, I'm gonna very quietly get up from where I'm sitting and pick up my bat and peek out onto the deck.
Yeah, I think the whole levitation system in the organ and all of your like personal stuff is pretty close to the sort of upper deck hatch that you use to get stuff into the hold. So and that's just like a great. So you just sort of like peek your head around. I think you also know like you have a mechanical face. A lot of people don't recognize that it is a face when they see it out of the corner of their eye until like they really look at you. So you kind of use that to your advantage, and you look and you see crew members that are not your crew members have entered the ship, and one Mr. Cantoni, who was sort of on deck, is laying face first on the ground, and that I think is a great place for us
Oh, fuck.
to end the session.
Well, damn.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
I like me some cliffhangers, and it just keeps working out this way.
Concern?
Concern.
It's very good.
Ugh. Mr. Cantoni dead?
We're gonna
You
find
don't
out
know? We will
next
roll
time.
more stuff about that next
Yeah,
time.
we're gonna have to find the fuck out, huh? Shit.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's a cliffhanger.
That's why you're hanging on the cliff.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I'm not hanging on a cliff. I'm staring at Mr. Cantoni's body.
Jesus.
That's why it's called a body stare.
Oh.
That's what it is. Anyways, my name's Tate Washburn. I have been the Lorist for this, and I'd like my players to tell everybody who they are and what they're doing in the next few weeks. We'll go in reverse order, so it's purple first this time.
Look, it's me. I'm Purple Phil. Yeah. The next thing you'll see me on will be this in 2 weeks. Other than that, get excited because we're going into a new month, which means a new episode of Iron GM. At the end of the month, we got to change it around so we didn't have it on Valentine's Day because that doesn't work for everyone. So on February 28th, doing the next episode of Iron GM. It's going to be Sarah versus Zipper on Disney. I'm super excited for them. They're both great GMs, and I'm excited to see what they have. Other than that, the whole tournament's running and it'll be once a month, so I'm really excited for that. That's about all I got, so I'll pass it on up to Lucian. I guess, wait, I'm played Maxwell Tuttle. I forgot about the first thing. Beginning.
Ah, yes. The thing
Yes,
we just did.
Historian, I got it. Nailed it. Okay, up to Lucian.
Hey, me. I'm Lucian. I played our marble slinging material scientist, Dr. Oliver Evans. You can find me sometimes on my personal Twitch. I stream sometimes actually now. Been mostly Hades. We'll see. I might branch out into other games. But besides that, you'll find me here again for the Violet Sea in 2 weeks. I'll pass it on up.
Hey everybody, it's me, Sir Heckalot, Today I played Arden Clark, the oceanographer that is very tired. You can find me on all of the social medias at Sir Heckalot. And in terms of the TTRPG space, you can obviously find me here for the show that you just saw.
Oh.
Oh.
No,
Oh,
maybe
fuck.
not.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
Oh no, heck.
Man, what is happening?
I have no
Why
idea.
does this keep happening?
I have actually no idea.
Restarting without my consent. What is wrong with it? I don't understand. I'm so tilted. I'm so tilted right now. What the fuck? I don't understand.
Oh, no.
I don't understand at all. But anyway, part 2 of this outro here. I stream on my personal channel every Friday.
There we go.
And hopefully this won't keep happening for those streams. I don't know. But in terms of TTRPG space. Obviously, what you just saw, we have some Valentine's Day things in the works, so you might want to look at that if you're not doing anything on Valentine's Day.
Although it's the
You can
Thursday
find
after
me
Valentine's.
on.
Never mind. Finish.
Other than that, you can find me every other Tuesday and Thursday over at TPK Roleplay. And through the month of February, every Wednesday, I'm going to be over on Sir Hooper 55's channel playing some Locust RPG. So, it's a personal horror type thing, and it's going to be wild, so you won't want to miss it. So yeah, I think that's about it. Let's just get past me.
I love you, Heck. You're my favorite.
Why?
For so many reasons.
Theo, let's go with you.
All right, I am Fel Prime. Today I played Reese, a transhumanist who somehow locked his conscious into a more robotic body. I mean, he's still searching for how he did that. He doesn't really remember, and we'll find out as we go along with this adventure. You can catch me on the socials at Fel Prime. You can catch me Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays playing through the Final Fantasy Pixel remakes on my personal channel. And as of right now, I am on hiatus with TPK, but when I do come back here in a few weeks, we will be bringing back some Power Rangers, so tune in for that. And we will go ahead and move on up.
I guess it's me then. It's me, Michelle. I play Quinn Archer, our bodyguard, come chef, come Sawbones medic. Please don't make Quinn saw your bones, please.
Well, let's see if first mate's alive or not.
We'll see. We'll see. I don't social media, so don't look for me anywhere.
Cannelloni.
And I guess you can find me. Wow. Okay, you'll find me here in 2 days. For A Blade's Will, Coalition of Steel, and then again for After the End in 2 weeks. So yeah, that's it for me.
Guess that leaves rounding out the cast to me. Hey folks, if you don't know who I am by now, I'm Young Foxy, aka Big Foxy, also known as your current and only favorite fox. I can be found on the Twitter sphere at BIG_FOXXI. I dunk on right wingers, I slay fascists, I have a good time doing it. Today I played the loquacious, rapacious, and audacious Captain Dre, and was very happy to do so. Had a real good time, like causing problems on purpose, and it wasn't a date, I'll fight you all. Anyway, back to Tate, go ahead.
Yeah, like I said, I'm Tate. I'm the Lorist. I made this system. It's been great so far. You can find me at kinda_writing on Twitter, where I mostly talk about tabletop stuff and memes and writing and sometimes politics, but what you really should do is follow this channel's Twitter, at Neon Lights Our Play, because that's where we announce a bunch of stuff, or join us on our Discord, because that's where we talk about the next tabletop thing we're doing. It's where we pull from people who want to do one-shots with us, especially for Blade's Will, and it's also, where I post all the in-universe music that's happening, because this background music is great, but, I don't want to distract everybody with fun lyrical jazz stuff while we're playing. We can barely handle oregano, so,
Good point, Game.
Barely handle our oregano.
You got a point there, boss. Alright, folks, well, we're going to head on out of here. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us. We're going to throw our raid over to the lovely Molly Berry, so please sit tight for that. She's playing some Satisfactory and got 84 viewers. Let's see how high we can take that over for her, so please hang out, hang tight. Thanks for coming out for the Violet Sea. We have been Neon Lights Roleplay, and you all have been amazing. Bye-bye.
I know.